The early morning sun cast a golden glow over the vast plains of Kruger National Park, South Africa. The trees whispered in the wind, and the melodious chirping of birds echoed through the majestic wilderness. A small lion cub played near its mother's feet, its eyes gleaming with innocent joy. But the wild is never without danger, and on this day, fate had prepared a cruel test. The curious young cub, eager to explore, spotted a tall tree standing alone in an open field. To its adventurous mind, this was the perfect challenge. With all the enthusiasm of youth, it grasped the trunk, climbing little by little, its tiny paws searching for a foothold. But a sudden gust of wind was enough to make the dry branch creak ominously. Crack! The branch snapped, and before the cub could react, it plummeted straight to the ground. A heavy thud shattered the peaceful morning air. In that instant, time seemed to freeze. The lioness's head snapped up, her ears twitching in alarm. A deep, urgent roar echoed across the plains as she rushed to her cub's side. The little lion whimpered in pain, struggling to stand, only to collapse again. One of its legs was swollen, trembling from the agony. The lioness bent down, gently licking the wound, but no amount of care could ease her cub's suffering. She lifted her gaze, eyes filled with desperation. Deep within her primal instincts, she knew that without help, her cub would not survive. Then, the unimaginable happened. Without hesitation, the lioness gently picked up her cub in her powerful jaws, cradling it like the most precious treasure, and began walking, not toward the safety of their den, but toward humans, the very beings she would normally fear and avoid. Every step was careful, mindful of her cub's pain, but she pressed on, her golden fur glistening under the rising sun. She moved with both determination and hesitation, guided by something greater than instinct, hope. Across the savannah, a patrol vehicle rolled slowly over the rugged terrain. Chio, a seasoned ranger, was tracking an elephant herd with his team when one of his colleagues suddenly exclaimed, "Chio, look! A lioness, she's coming toward us." Everyone turned. Sure enough, a lioness was approaching, but something was strange. She wasn't stalking or showing aggression. Instead, she carefully placed a small bundle in front of their vehicle. A lion cub. No one could believe their eyes. The tension in the air was thick, even breathing felt heavy. A wild lioness, seeking human help. Chio took a deep breath, steadying himself. He signaled to his team to stay alert but not provoke the lioness. Slowly, he stepped out of the vehicle, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. The lioness let out a soft growl, not of hostility, but of plea. Chio knelt to examine the cub. It was badly injured but showed no signs of broken bones. "We can help," he said firmly. The lioness didn't move, her anxious eyes fixed on her child. Carefully, Chio disinfected the wound and wrapped the cub's leg with a bandage. When he administered a painkiller, the cub shivered slightly but didn't resist. A fellow ranger applied anti-inflammatory medication. Throughout the entire process, the lioness remained tense, letting out a quiet growl whenever they touched her cub, but she did not interfere, as if she understood they meant no harm. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. Every movement was cautious, every second weighted with silent communication between two species. The lioness paced slightly, her muscles tense, but she did not retreat. After 2 long hours of patient care, the cub began to regain strength. Slowly, it stood on its wobbly legs, trembling but determined. Seeing this, the lioness let out a low, encouraging roar. The cub, though weak, took hesitant steps toward her, rubbing its head against her leg, a heartwarming moment that left everyone speechless. Chio stepped back, signaling that their work was done. "It'll be okay now," he murmured. The lioness gazed at him for a long moment, then, in an astonishing gesture, let out a soft roar, almost as if she was thanking him. Then, with steady steps, she led her cub back into the wild, pausing momentarily as if committing the faces of her unlikely saviors to memory. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the plains, their silhouettes stretching long against the earth. Their journey carried hope, survival, and a tale of trust between humans and the wild, one that would never be forgotten. That day, across Kruger's vast lands, the story of the lioness who sought human help spread like wildfire. A story of maternal love, compassion, and an extraordinary bond between two species once thought incapable of understanding one another. The image of the lioness standing before humans, not with fear, but with hope, became a symbol of the miraculous connection between mankind and nature. The rangers who witnessed it didn't just see a rare encounter, they felt the fragile yet profound beauty of life in the wild. This tale became proof that, whether human or animal, when love and trust exist, miracles can happen. The story of the lioness seeking human help is more than just a rare wildlife encounter, it carries deep lessons about love, trust, and compassion. First, it highlights the power of a mother's love. Whether in humans or animals, maternal instincts transcend fear and logic, pushing one to overcome any obstacle to protect their child. The lioness, despite her natural wariness of humans, chose to seek help for her cub. This reminds us that true love often comes with sacrifice and courage. Second, the story proves that kindness bridges all beings. The rangers did not turn away from the lioness's plea. Instead, they chose to help, despite the risks of dealing with a wild predator. Their compassion created a rare moment of trust between two species that usually exist in opposition. Finally, it teaches us that sometimes, we must step beyond our comfort zones to find solutions. The lioness had every reason to avoid humans, yet she trusted in a possibility beyond instinct. Likewise, in our lives, true breakthroughs often come when we dare to trust and seek help beyond what feels familiar. This lesson applies to our everyday lives. Never hesitate to help those in need, whether they are strangers or even creatures of another world. When we prioritize kindness over fear and prejudice, extraordinary things can happen.